Hi, I'm Barbara Bertucci out here in California, and it's my privilege today to have Randy Rolfe share with us. And Randy, you are just a breath of fresh air and an inspiration to me, really, honestly. And I'm just going to name a few of the many things that you do, but a lawyer, a mother, an author, farmer, homesteader, family therapist. That's many books and things written on that as well. A degree in theology. And I'm going to add the bi-coastal. You're now in Monterey, California, but you go to Pennsylvania and now Ottawa. So I am just with you an inspiration. I just want you to know how much you impact all the things. And we met, oh, was it 26 years in Japan? We met in Japan on a trip. It was amazing and just so beautifully connected in all different realms. But vibrant health is your passion and coaching people. And now you have a class, and it's just amazing. So, and I love your new book, The Single Ingredient Diet. You know, it's really bringing it down to basics, bringing it down to simplicity. But um, take it away and just and introduce what you do all over again.
Thanks, Barbara. I'm happy to love joining your wonderful Barbara and friends. And I want to say you were an inspiration. You had on the bus, we were bus B, I think it was in Japan, and you were going up and down the aisles, just keeping everybody excited. You've always been an inspiration to me too. And you've had a rich, wonderful life so far, and it's still going strong. So I love it. And I started my search in nutrition because I was a total academic. I did really well in school because I was supposed to. And uh, I was studying all the time. And when I wasn't studying, I was playing the piano. My grandmother was my teacher. So I had no idea how to cook. And my first date when my wasn't my first date, but when my husband invited me into his apartment to make dinner together, I freaked out because he was 4 years older than me. He'd been on his own for 4 years, and I didn't know how to boil water. And he said, "Why don't you do the peas? I'll cook the ham." I'm like, "End of story." I don't know what to do. Um, so I realized they knew nothing about how to cook. My dad usually cooked the meat. My mom cooked everything else. And they were modern. My dad was a doctor, so he's very interested in health. He never gave us any drugs or anything. And but they did kind of get caught up in the convenience food of the 50s. Everything was convenient. And so that's kind of what I'd grown up on. I had frosted flakes for breakfast and which there weren't as many additives back in those days, but there was plenty of sugar. Uh, but we always had good dinner and we always had bananas as a snack. And so I didn't know anything about food. So I thought, well, I better learn. Uh, and my boyfriend didn't give up. We've been married 55 years now. And he thanks me regularly for learning how to cook and what to eat because he's 81 and he acts more like a 45. So it's very exciting how successful it's been. And um, so my first book I chose it was Adele Davis because she'd done research on all the science that happened between the wars. And after the chemical age started, after the Second World War, they just stopped thinking about how to keep people healthy with nature. They just wanted to put chemicals in everything and chemicals on the farms and you probably all know the terrible stories about taking the poisons and killing the bugs instead of the people um, with the same drugs, so same chemicals. So anyhow, Adele Davis was all about the vitamins and the minerals and the fiber, and it was a great book, and it was based on all the science. She dug up all this wonderful science that had been done, and so one day I told my husband all about it over breakfast while I was in law school, and he was already practicing law. And I said, I think we just have to start over again. So I threw out everything in my pantry and my kitchen and my refrigerator and started over again. And I don't insist people do that in my course anymore. But I had convinced him that we needed to go to whole organic foods. And in those days, most things were still organic in the 70s. So so we did, and we were blown away because I was just trying to extend our life. I didn't believe some of the things that Bill Davis said about what it would do for you. But I stopped having menstrual cramps. My skin was healthier. My hair didn't get dry in the winter. I never caught cold anymore. And my husband, it changed his life because he'd had asthma. And he still breathed through his mouth all the time. And when he went to sleep, he was noisy. He didn't snore, thank goodness, but he was noisy. And after a while, he never got colds anymore. And it wasn't until weekend that he would wake up with his mouth closed. But he had better wind when he was jogging and all those kinds of things. So nutrition can change your life. And when I discovered Nikken, I was like, okay, I love this whole idea about magnetic energy. I got a sleep system of it immediately. I put the kids on them immediately because how could I not do that? And then I thought, well, could they also be cutting edge in nutrition as well? Because I was already taking a lot of fine supplements. So I really looked into what they were doing and I was blown away. They were at the cutting edge back then. And then they stayed at the cutting edge and they still are at the cutting edge, as we all know from our wonderful, cute little Japanese scientist. um, so, or is she Chinese? I'm sorry. I don't remember. But so the thing about supplements is that you have to have a quality main meal. That your food, you can't just do it with supplements. Because no matter how many supplements you're taking, you can't overcome a bad diet. You can supplement it, but you can't replace it. So you do have to have a really quality diet with lots of fiber, good protein, and quality fat, not the refined seed oil uh, that's in all the processed foods. And but then the supplements are critical because we've over-farmed our soils, and our soils don't have all the vitamins in them, and the often the plants aren't healthy enough. Or the minerals, I should say, and often the plants aren't healthy enough to produce enough of the vitamins and enzymes that we need. And they travels. I mean, everything's grown in California almost, except for the grains. And so it's shipped halfway, all the way across the country for a week. And so a lot of the enzymes and vitamins are denatured by that time. And the way Nikken sources their supplements, they try to get it from actual food, which is amazing. So many supplements are manufactured in the lab, either from petrochemicals or generated by microbes that have been genetically engineered to produce the vitamin they want. So it's kind of nasty in the lab. So you try to get your vitamins and minerals from food, and Nikken is really the only company I know that really says we're looking for organic sources all the time. And then you see when you look at the fillers, there's no fillers. They combine it with enough different food like herbs and things, bits of fruits and stuff, so that they don't need any chemical fillers to make it into a capsule or a tablet or whatever it is. So another thing is that so many people take one capsule for their vitamin mineral RDAs, but that's impossible to get the minerals you need. And so that's why we have four, daily four, because you need that much quantity to get all those RDAs in there from organic sources. So it's mainly because of soil depletion, but we're all individuals too. And if you you may need extra B vitamins, for instance, for stress,
Mm.
or one of my fun things that I discovered is that if you have creaky knees, manganese is the thing to take. It's quite amazing. The knees stop creaking. When my knees started creaking up the stairway, I'm like, oh, my manganese. So I started getting extra manganese. I also take extra vitamin C. Nika has vitamin C in lots of things, but Linus Pauling lived past 100 at taking extra vitamin C, so why not? Um, so I take everything plus for prevention, and it helps the body respond better to all of Niken's other products, the water and the air. And if your lungs are healthy and you're not getting colds and flus, you're going to use the air better and feel stronger and build better muscle. And of course, the magnetism, we know that with the quality water and the good food, you respond better to your magnetism as well. And I remember early on, they were saying that if you loan things to people that drink a lot, they don't respond well to magnetism because they're just too toxic. So you want to keep detoxed with your diet as well as with your uh, magnetic and far infrared and other products. So, yeah, that's enough for me.
No, that's awesome. That's great. I do like underlining that, and you're talking about the detox. And then do you want to add a little bit about the detox cleanse? Because I think that's important too, that we flush our liver and our kidneys and
Yes, yes, I focused on that in the brand night. I think it was last week, last Wednesday, and I love that Nikan uses the wisdom of all the world, the traditional wisdom that's been verified by science. And so they've got all kinds of wonderful herbs in the detox, but it's not a scary detox. I mean, you're not going to be running to the bathroom for 3 days, and I run into people that are, oh, I'm on a detox. And I'm like, let your body do it the way it does it naturally. Just use a gentle detox that works with the liver and the kidneys, not aggressively taking everything out as fast as you can and confusing the body seriously. And then you go back to your old ways. Instead, you want to work with the body's natural detox systems. In fact, I was on a webinar just yesterday where they were saying that the detox organs of the body are the most important, and especially in today's life. And if your liver and kidneys aren't working well, then that's when you get skin problems and lung problems, because your lungs and your skin, your body's going to try to push the toxins out somehow if they're not going out the right direction. So the detox is really, really important to keep that going. So lots of fiber, quality water, and the detox supplement. I just take it every other day just to prevention.
there you go. That's awesome. And I even tell young people that, or after an ailment to at least do 10 days in a row after you've, been sick or something, but at least a bottle a year. Just get the detox cleanse
Oh, sure.
and I just am an analogy person. It's like a backwash, to your system to try and help get it out. So, yeah, that's interesting. Tying it to the lungs and the skin because now there's the flu going around with a lot lung issues with people and a cough and
Oh,
uh,
it's amazing what's happening. They're so much sicker than they were 27 years ago when we started. Isn't it sad? And the obesity has doubled in one generation because we've convinced everybody that fat's bad. So all they're doing is loading up on refined carbohydrates, and they're never satisfied uh, with they're never feeling satisfied. Because their brain's been manipulated so that they want sugar every 2 hours instead of burning the fat that the body has kindly stored for you. It's really sad.
Well, I know now that you've got a class, you've got it online, you've got we're gonna put that, I'll put that in the chat. We'll get that going. And then uh and discounts for it's a 7-week class and discounts for those in NECAN.
Yeah, live class online, and I can just give you a website to go to.
So if you have any questions for Randy, put them in the chat and we can go from there. And she will be on March 6th. So a couple weeks out, she'll be coming back on and fine tuning and checking in and just really kibitzing. So
Spelled it
yeah,
right.
make sure you get your questions uh, together for Randy. All right.
Yeah, I love questions, and because I what I love doing is using complicated concepts and making them everyday useful. So,
So her
and
website is the
sense for
single
people
ingredient
because,
diet.com. Yeah, I just wanted to
yeah.
say it for
Oh,
anybody
yeah.
watching
Yes,
it.
it's just singleingredientdiet.com. And
Yeah.
you'll get a 13-minute training by, it's actually an avatar of me. It's hilarious. I did that last winter. Um, and then you can sign up for a call with me, and then you can get on my course, but I have a special price for Nikon people. Um,
Awesome.
and Pam Barnes and a couple of other Nikon people have taken it, and actually her video is her testimonial is on that website there.
Oh,
Uh,
nice, nice.
it was great. But it's so important to nutrition is everything. We are what we eat. And the non-foods that are in our food products today, I don't even call it food, the food products that are in packages, they're trying to convince us that it's food, but it's not edible because it's out of a lab, and or it's so refined from some food source that the body's never seen it all by itself, and it doesn't know what to do with it. And the beauty of our system, you'll learn all about it in my course, is that this digestion system from the mouth to the end of the other end um, is sequenced. So real food comes in, the body knows how to pull it apart properly in sequence so
Mm.
you don't get these ups and downs in your blood sugar. But people are just completely bypassing that with these highly refined things that go right in, and then the liver says, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And the pancreas says, "Oh my God, what do I do?" And then we get weak artery walls because the sugar is going in and out, and um,
Mm.
it's a disaster. If you just let the body do what it's designed to do, it works. It works.
Yes,
I
yes.
get excited about that. Sorry.
No, that's okay. I love it when you go off on your filling
So,
us
do we
in.
let's have some questions.
Yes, I know we have a few. Um,
Randy, are you are you familiar with a company called Chalk Zero? They make
No.
no, because it's something I would just it's they use monk fruit and other they don't use sugar and they don't use artificial sweetener. And my daughter's
Hmm.
hooked onto it because, she thinks like I keep telling her there's calories in there anyway. They make products that have just chocolate, but other things like they'll make what's it? Like butter cookies, but not with sugar and not with I'd have to look at the ingredients.
Yeah.
I would
Okay.
just be curious about it. what you think about the company and what they are doing if you familiarize yourself with it. I would be curious to. It's called Chalk Zero. I'd like to have a conversation with you about it at a future date if you're
Sure.
familiar with it.
Yeah, just from what you've said, I do discourage people from using a lot of artificial sugar or things like stevia and monk fruit that have traditionally been used in much smaller quantities within a diet, um, because we are getting definitely habituated and addicted to sweet tastes. Now we have sweet beer and sweet wine, and people are looking for sugar everywhere. And so if you try to make your cookies just as sweet as they would be with sugar or saccharin or whatever, then you're keeping people with the brain still wanting that extra sweet
Mm,
flavor. When you get to just real food as we've used it traditionally, we're much more sensitive to the subtleties of flavor and sweet. We don't need as much sweet to get that same sweet pleasure of sweetness. So I do discourage people from just trying substitute like stevia and monk fruit that do happen to be incredibly sweet tasting
mm,
without the calories. But it's still keeping us with that craving for sweet taste. And so you do tend to eat more if your body's looking for the same results it would get if they had honey, or a date, or, but all sugar except with milk and maple syrup, which has to be way boiled down, and honey. In every other case, sugar comes with a whole lot of fiber and usually water as well. So that's what the body's looking for when, because, early on we pick all the fruits, all the berries and things, and we got, that was a special treat, but we'd get all that natural moisture and fiber from the sweet taste.
Oh, dear.
So that's my take on that.
So
But
you're better off eating a date or some fruit rather than something that's made with monk fruit or whatever, because it's a habit, getting a habit and getting how your body reacts to dealing with it
exactly,
better than a cookie made of it.
yeah. And the food industry loves the trend to get all these different things to substitute, that you still want your pasta and you still want your cookies and you still want your chips, and we can do it for you with all these flavorings and preservatives and things that make it crisp and things that keep it on the shelf long enough and things that still taste sweet even though it doesn't give you what sweetness is supposed to give you. So it's amazing. I read a lot of the food industry news, and they love it. They love the whole vegan thing because they can still make all these foods that everybody wants, fake meat and fake eggs, and so it's really most important is getting away from the processed food and having a date instead of a cookie. Your body knows what to do with a date. But young people are really getting habituated to having all these new things that our bodies have never dealt with before. Um, Having, like you said, major and even Nikan when they started trying to make K, uh, the KDP sweet enough for people's tastes, they added more than I'm totally happy with. I still have it every day, but I I wish they didn't succumb to that temptation of giving people that really sweet flavor.
Now, on that note, do you bake or do you use like butter in the baking or what's your
Oh, I use butter every day. Absolutely. It's a very healthy fat. I've never
love?
had any joint problems because I never gave up butter.
Yay.
And yeah, and I use coconut oil as well in cooking. And we have organic bacon once a week, and I use the bacon grease to cook as well when I'm
Mm,
cooking chicken or fish. And and I use olive oil for my salads, and don't use any seed oils at all.
okay. So
And
that would
but
be
I do take
avocado.
I
That
take
would be
the
avocado oil as well.
well, yeah, that's I never got into that, but that is a decent oil. It's pretty easy to extract the
Okay.
avocado oil from the avocado, you know. And traditionally, walnut oil is used, but using corn oil and sunflower oil, and if you drive through North Dakota, it's all sunflower. It's sunflowers. It's gorgeous. It's all yellow, like my sweater. But it's all going into cheap oil for boiling your French fries. Uh, it's if we ate sunflowers, I eat sunflowers, but I
Mhm.
don't use sunflower oil because it's not balanced. The omega-3 is gone by the time they give you the bottle of oil. So, and it's so contaminated. They've heated it and chemically extracted it. Netflix had a wonderful show on what they do to extract high fructose corn oil. And the reason they made it popular was it's so darn cheap. It costs almost nothing once compared to sugar or beet sugar or maple syrup or um, even apples. They use a lot of apple sugar in the fruit juices. And
That's
that's a highly processed food. You want to you eat your fruit or juice it yourself.
What about peanut oil?
I'm gonna underline the get with the person that invited you to be on this video and stay tuned for more and go to singleingredientdiet.com for more to learn more and to have more because it's amazing. Why is
Let's
it?
see, Hattie Jane has a question, and Don Marie,
Yeah,
what did you ask about? Oh, peanut oil. That yeah, it's pretty easy to squeeze the oils out of peanuts because they're very oily. And it has been used. I always check that. Has it been used culturally for enough years when people were healthy? And yeah, in China they've used peanut oil for generations. So yes, you can use that. And a mixture, varied diet is really important. So let's
okay, we'll go
see.
to Hattie Jane and then I'll stop the
Yeah,
recording.
Hattie
Go ahead,
Jane.
Hattie Jane.
Oh, unmute,
You
please.
have to mute.
That might help. I apologize. Okay, my questions are there steps in adjusting the diet with medical conditions and basically aging? Because I find my diet, my taste has changed. I can appreciate better whole foods, but I also find I'm not necessarily blending them as well as I need to get all the nutritions I need to. Do you have a
Mm.
recommendation?
Yeah, a couple of things. As we age, it's good to take extra zinc because when the taste changes, it doesn't taste. Uh, it does taste changes because of a zinc deficiency.
Oh,
So supplement with zinc. Take extra zinc. I know there's some zinc in Nikon's system, but you probably need extra if you're over 60 or so, which most of us are. And so, and then I would also recommend taking digestion just as a prevention because you know, um,
Get the
seven.
most out of what we can get.
Yeah, exactly. And our enzymes decrease. I don't believe if we'd all been eating fresh foods our entire life, they wouldn't decrease even at this point. But in since we've lived most of our lives in America,
Already? Mhm.
we aren't producing as many enzymes as we used to. So it's really good to take the digestion, and I love the digestion. I tell you, that's always my favorite because you use what you're eating best, and it is such a good formula. It digests all the major food groups, and it's gentle, just like the detox. It's supporting the body, not just replacing the body's own efforts. It's supporting it. So
Well,
that's
some
really
people have trouble digesting oil and fats as well. And I believe the progesterol is very good at that too. Is that if they don't have the digestive juices, something to support that? What you
Yeah, progesterol is amazing. It really helps keep everything where it should be in all the blood chemistry. It's wonderful that, and again, that's something the bergamot's been used to normalize health as a tonic before they knew all the things that were going on in the body. It was recognized as a tonic to keep people healthy. And so, yeah, the digesting fat is the detox does that. Also, natural fat, because the oils, the body doesn't like them. They're toxic. So, fried foods, people can't eat fried foods. Good. They shouldn't be eating it.
that's
If
true.
you
That's a
want to
whole
have that fried face taste, the dark butter is popular all of a sudden, and um, restaurants are doing it. They overcook the butter till it's brown.
Ooh.
But that gives you the same flavor as that you're looking for in the awful fried foods.
oh God.
So just let things cook in the butter. I don't like it dark. I've tried it, but you basically have to burn the milk particles, which isn't very nice.
Not very good for any.
But you can make your onions crisp and your tomatoes get a little crispy if you cook with butter or coconut oil.
So I'm going to stop this recording. So anyway, give it the person that invited you to check this out, and more to come on March 6th as well. Okay, thanks, guys.